another art therapy podcast from us, My Baby Healing. And yes, I would say like this is our final episode for this year, which is so we're gonna talk about self-discovery through word of affirmation. And we have these two beautiful ladies over here as our speaker. Yes, okay.
Hello.
Without further ado, let's get them introduce themselves. Arda, go.
Hi, I'm Arda. First of all, thank you, Kay, for having me in your awesome podcast. I'm an independent visual artist and also a wannabe entrepreneur. And I'm here to
Not
talk
wanna be, bukan already
Oh,
entrepreneur.
entrepreneur, memang betul.
Yeah, you
Oh
already
my God.
entrepreneur.
Sorry, I forgot to positively affirm that I'm an entrepreneur.
Already entrepreneur.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for having me. I'm
Thank
excited
you.
for this podcast.
Thank you for joining. Arda is a super talented artist in the local scene. So kalau nampak Ardacadabrah kat social media tu, itu dia punya artwork lah. And yes,
Awesome.
we do have Armani.
Hi, my name is Armani. I'm the founder of Nak Seni, a social enterprise selling art merchandise by artists with disabilities. I'm going to do an inclusive introduction.
Yes, let's do
So, I am wearing a pink sweater with a lime green bracelet that looks like grapes. I have shoulder length blackish brown hair, and I have earrings that are purple flowers made by one of our artists. Her name is Zoe.
Lifestyle worker.
I love that.
Okay, so kalau kita nak join macam mana nak cakap kan. So I am wearing nampak tak tahu kan macam mana semua. I'm wearing like kimono, brownish black shirts. I have curly hair and
Very colourful earrings.
I'm wearing the colourful earring. This is not from PWD. I should have
It's
worn
okay.
it. It's okay.
Still
And yeah, kalau you,
I'm Arda. I'm wearing floral top and I'm a hijabi.
Color.
What?
Colour.
Grey color hijab. Grey colour hijab. Glittery eyes.
Oh, gitu.
nice.
And a beauty mark on my face.
So I usually macam where do you guys use this inclusive introduction?
Yeah, usually when we have any interviews, videos, or events for people who can't see, we describe ourselves so that we make it inclusive for them to also be part of our events and
inclusive communication lah. Yeah. So I think we need that kind of like introduction more because
we're still learning.
Still learning lah.
Nice to spread it around.
Yeah. So I hope you guys
Nice.
di rumah can start practice juga. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, for today we're gonna talk about self-discovery through word of affirmation. So because we are doing word of affirmation, while we're discussing about the topic, we're also gonna do affirmation poster card. So hari ni kita ada artis di sini. Dia akan start bebas lah. Arda akan membantu kita macam mana nak design composition, all that jazz. Come on.
All that jazz. So basically, I myself. Okay, this is like my favorite thing to do. I have like like a journal. And like I'm basically empty pages where I like to do collage. Like of my vision boards for my next idea, next project, and even for next year or next month. And I like to write words of affirmation myself lah. So one of my favorite methods is collage lah. So memang okay.
So hari ni punya permainan
So
material hari ni
memang best lah tengok material bagi.
Stiker cari tu lah stiker.
So macam mana kita nak start? Should we start to compose?
So usually like how does it composition works, or like
step 1,
step 1, step 2. If you want to like write I think word of affirmation you can write anywhere, depends on how you want to design it then.
Yeah,
but
betul.
just understand the composition.
Okay, since we have a small page, right? Okay, before anything you can identify how you want to macam which one do you want to emphasize more, the words or
The art.
the art? So basically if I were to compose something, I nak katalah I affirm better with images. I will focus more on the images. But if I affirm better with the words, I will want to read the words first. So I will make the text bigger. And then only comes the decorations.
I see. So we have to decide lah.
Yeah,
It's either
so
words
first you
or
decide.
the arts, or you want to focus on the
Yeah,
collage.
what are
ke?
you? Yeah, like what are you more inspired by?
Okay.
Macam, what is our love language? Is it words or
Yeah, words.
Word
Acts of service.
Kan? Word of
Words of
affirmation.
affirmation.
Word of affirmation. Actually, fun part for the love language part, everyone have that. Kan orang macam, okay, buat test ni, you gonna know what is your love language. Macam everyone, they have that all love language, cuma
which one is more prominent?
Yes,
lah.
which one is
Okay,
more prominent at
true.
that season, whatever, things like that.
Tapi how do we know? Because if it macam, what is the most prominent for us? Do we prefer words or visual ke? Kadang-kadang
Listen to your heart.
I have a heart.
Tapi you boleh depend on you punya bukan mood. Apa yang you nak affirm sebenarnya? Do you want to like, is it because of, is it a goal setting? Or is it okay for today only? Today I nak make sure I work out. So do I need visuals
For
like
the
of
workout.
hot girls to motivate me
Working
to work
out,
out?
yeah.
Or do I just need to tulis besar-besar, don't forget to work out today? Macam tu. Dia macam rasa lah I buat macam tu.
Ya, betul. Kalau ikut dalam kategorinya, that's how ni lah. So, basically back to a little bit back for the discussion. Word of affirmation ni, how does it like impact our self-discovery, and do you guys even like macam some people, they don't know the technicality of apa definition word affirmation tu. So for me, how I define affirmation is something like words that inspire you, to reassure you that you are doing okay, you are doing fine, you are valuable, things like that. You need reassurance. So as a human being, we need that constant reassurance. Kalau kita tak dapat daripada kita punya environment, kita kena dapatkan benda tu dalam diri sendiri, internally. So even some people, they got it, the word of assurance dekat luar, like external people surround them, orang cakap, oh, you are doing fine, you are doing great, but they don't believe it. Pun problem juga. So that's a way of actually we can look at, mental health. Affirmation is something that is goes hand in hand lah. And I think I'm gonna ask you guys like macam for your own definition, apa you guys rasa pasal apa ni, how do you think like word of affirmation is important, and what does it means to you, like Arda and also Armani. Siapa nak jawab dulu? So paper rock scissors
soalan exam ni.
Jangan pressure guys, okay? Sambil-sambil tu boleh buat dulu, kita fikir nanti. But yes, let's say lah for me, the importance of word affirmation, during my depression phase, I can't believe any kind of like positive reinforcement, because my brain just don't have that enough serotonin and dopamine to process that positive words.
So whatever orang cakap pun you tak percaya.
Yes. So which is, it's a bit hard to, so some people say like, oh, why you gonna be so negative, every time like macam, for those who don't understand depression, they feel like orang depression yang struggle with depression ni sangat negatif lah, which is
you're just not in the mental space to think out of that depression state of mind, kan?
Yes. So if you guys wondering like, okay, if you guys before this you guys boleh have the positive reinforcement, or you guys can process positive reinforcement, which is, that is how actually normal brain should work lah. But if you can't, please seek help. Kalau dah kena start makan ubat, kena start go for therapy, benda-benda macam tu. So for me, the importance of affirmation is where I able to believe the positive things that happen in my life is something real.
Okay.
You know, things like that. Yang macam
Yes,
kalau tak ada that affirmation, you tak believe lah anything yang you do macam, oh, I'm not good enough, I don't do this blah 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 enough. Things like, you know, all these unnecessary thoughts. And how I learn from that phase is when I go to therapy. Usually in the therapy session, they will always help us to reframe, to teach us how we want to reframe our mind or our perception into different kind lah. Contoh macam kita ada negative thought about something, they will help us to reframe our mind in a positive ways. So that's where I start exploring, okay, word of affirmation is something that benda tu macam kalau kita amalkan rutin, gonna help you to rewire your brain and to see life or perspective in a lighter way lah. For me, yeah. That's how I explain.
Like constant reminders.
Yes. So for you guys,
For me, I treat self-affirmation as one of the ways that I love myself, because I'm actually quite a jenis yang overachiever dan perfectionist juga.
Faham.
But I tend to be hard on myself and critical on myself. So how I psycho myself balik is by giving myself words of affirmation. Macam like I am capable, or I'm doing great, even though sometimes I feel like I'm not doing great, but actually I'm doing great. And when something bad happens to me and I start to spiral down into negative self-talk, I try to remind myself that, okay, I have achieved so much. Like this year, I have explored a lot of things and I've learned a lot. So there is growth. So I just keep reminding myself that I'm enough. Like, I'm just like basically just like really been learning how to be softer on myself. And softer, and at the end of the day only you can help yourself. Kita je boleh tolong diri kita. Like, so no matter how many times people try to motivate us, or no matter what people say or advise, at the end of the day we are the one who have to believe in ourselves, right? Like, because if we don't change that within ourselves, how are we going to take a step forward? So I think like it has been quite a rough year, but with all the self-affirmations that I've done, I'm still alive. So thank you to self-affirmation, positive affirmation. I am still going on strong.
Nangis saja tapi
Sampai menangis.
Yeah, people say kind of like macam, oh, kalau you tak believe in that word, it's like, you know, budak-budak sekarang panggil apa, dilulu state kan, macam, oh, I'm fine, I'm doing ni, but the actual part is tak ni lah. So there are people who are actually using like self-affirmation ni as in a toxic positive ways of thinking juga, which is something yang macam dangerous lah kalau orang tu tak nak self-aware, and then some issues that they don't want to process in healthy way is gonna affect you in the
like you are being in denial of yourself. Like that, is it?
Abang nak tanya toxic positive. How do you know if it's toxic positivity?
How do you able to like separate that you know you punya current condition? I know like people use word of affirmation as like things that they want to manifest, which is like macam, oh, I'm self-love. So basically they want to manifest things that love in a self-care way, right? But what if like, okay, I'm doing this for self-love, but actually dia tak buat benda tu, this is just a coping mechanism, faham tak? Macam you know, some people pergi apa, healing, shopping mall, TRX, apa lagi pergi
actually you know, you're just running away from your problem, right?
But then diorang macam merasa macam, oh, I'm doing this is as a act of self-love. So like where do you guys feel like, okay, actually ni thoughts macam ni dah start masuk nak ke toxic positivity macam ni kalau you nak bezakan or being aware of that?
I think you can be aware of your own actions. So like if you've been doing the same thing but it still gets you nowhere, are you really doing the right thing or are you stuck in a cycle? Kan maybe lah, I tak tahulah.
Betul.
Like I'm not macam therapist ke apa, tapi
ini sendiri punya own experience.
yeah, tapi based on my own experience lah, bila I rasa macam actually I am stuck in a certain mindset punya loop that sometimes okay, I have to get over myself and do something about it. So if I have been shopping too much, maybe I kena stop shopping. Tiba ni self-realization moment.
Am I shopping just for my coping or am I using it as a ways of discovery myself? Macam tu lah.
Therapy
Yeah, macam you know self-reflect jugalah. You want to do something kan. So macam you apa you punya?
Well, I have to admit that I was a very negative person. So I use words to like change the mindset, like you said. And actually, when you hear things that are very positive from orang lain, memang susah nak percaya unless you yourself believe in it. So macam when you get overwhelmed or when I get overwhelmed when I'm trying to work on something and being around a lot of people with challenges lah, people with disabilities, of course they have so many different challenges.
Yes.
I pula rasa macam guilty-nya. Why do I feel so, I start to put myself down and I'm macam if they can be so positive, why yang I macam ni?
Normal people kita rasa macam tak ni lah kan.
And then I learned from actually it's not about how capable you are, it's how much you want to do. Whether you can or can do it, it's like okay, if I tak nak buat hari ni, I buat besok. So now I tell myself, instead of saying I can't do it, I say I can do it, but yang tukarnya is either now or later.
I see. Okay. Yeah.
So when you dah relax sikit, dah macam tak kusut sangat kepala, then it's easier for you to do things.
So I think macam benda tu kan, people always feels like dia punya konsep sama lah, macam someone yang struggle dengan procrastination but they don't understand the root cause of that procrastination is coming from where that make them constantly stuck in that loop, but then self guilt or like macam gaslight themselves in a way macam why you keep doing this, itulah kau memang malas, kau ni tak muda kan. Itulah macam yeah,
but it takes a long time for you to get out of that mode.
Yes.
But you have so much expectation, especially orang yang perfectionist kan. So bila nak buat something tu rasa susah sangat nak buat, and then you get so disappointed even though benda tu senang actually.
Betul.
Actually art has helped me to become less of a perfectionist because the way I tengok art kan, it's like it doesn't have to be perfect.
There's no
rules. So before I started to take art seriously, I was very macam I have to be this way, I have to get these grades, I have to get this by the time. I memang sangat rigid. And tapi bila I start to do art, I rasa macam wow, art really something yang powerful tool to help me be softer on myself, and also at the same time I get to express myself and make people happy with my artwork.
Yeah, I think macam
dia macam part of my discovery juga.
Itu yang nak cakap tadi, lupa mentionkan juga tadi kita punya own experience pasal art. Yes, sebab for today like macam we are actually try to explore the art mechanics itself, which is we are doing this by also discuss about how our self-discovery journey and how we get to know that word of affirmation that are working for us at that time or in the future or before this kan. So sometimes macam you pernah tak rasa macam biasanya you pakai that word affirmation okay je, tiba-tiba at one phase that word of affirmation doesn't work anymore.
Oh no.
Pernah tak?
Pernah, especially when I baru start pakai, lepas tu I expect instant result.
Betul,
Like,
betul.
am I doing it wrong?
That's like road to spiralism.
Yeah, man. Like,
Betul.
oh my god, all these affirmations are macam tu lah. I dah start to spiral kan. But at the end of the day, actually consistency is the key lah.
Consistency lah.
Yeah, in whatever you do, you nak self-affirm ke. As long it's okay to change your word of affirmation to something that will work for you, I think. As long as you keep doing positive affirmations
lah. So
and
macam
as long as it gets you going, I think.
Before this, masa during my depression recovery period, I put this like every day, my word of affirmation is a different things. Like macam, okay, Monday is like you're gonna do the best that you can. Tuesday you're gonna give kindness to yourself first, or like Rabu maybe like the universe gonna give you the people that are aligned with something like that lah.
Sorry, minta tisu boleh. Haru sangat you cakap menangis. I'm like sniffing.
Musim-musim sekarang ni, so dia confuse dengan nangis dengan sesama. Tapi kita boleh sekali kan lah. But yes,
Tears of joy.
So I think what I learned from that period, even though macam hari-hari benda tu benda yang sama, bukanlah hari-hari macam Monday sampai Friday tu benda yang macam ni, tapi whenever you macam look up to that words, it's like okay, clicking something. Contohlah something happen that day yang macam dia macam bercanggah dengan word of affirmation tu yang menyebabkan you rasa no, this whatever that this affirmation thingy is something that tak betul ke tak kan, macam faham tak, rasa macam delusional but at the point where I feel that delusional part, and then I look at that word of affirmation,
you are worthy. At some point macam you tak rasa you percaya pun ayat tu lagi, but then
that
you keep reminding your brain, and then that
but at some point in life that words gonna get like macam prove themselves to you. Faham tak?
Faham. Actually, I nak share my experience yang quite macam okay. I kan suka kan buat vision board so I pernah write things down apa yang I nak achieve, and then I pernah buat I've done a vision board where of like how my art will look like, then what I want to achieve like next year, and bila like after a year or two kan, bila I tengok balik, like I terjumpa balik vision board I notice that wow, I've done more than what's on my vision board. Macam you sama bila you tengok balik and then you baca balik journal you rasa macam wow,
apa yang you manifest, apa yang you
telah
macam
manifest benda-benda
betul.
like so basic, so since that rasa macam okay, like because masa tu I memang buat, I ikut je YouTube kan, kita suka tengok YouTube kan, and then like why don't I try this, because I was bored and I macam okay lah, instead of writing down my resolutions, why don't I do a vision board instead lah. So I rasa it actually it works and it helps for you to set the intention. So dia macam lagi apa, reinforce kot you punya apa plan you, macam tu lah.
Faham. So macam ni,
I don't know if it's okay, sebelum I cerita, boleh tak I tanya, at what point in your life yang masa you tengah give affirmation to yourself that you fully 100% okay, I percaya to yourself?
at first
Masa
point
I
biasanya tak percaya lah. Cuma ikut template lah. Okay, tak apa, kita letak je dulu kat sini. Lepas tu macam lama-lama tu dia akan renew itself kot. I don't know, for me macam tu kot, from how I view things. Like macam I struggle with self-love, so I'm gonna put like I'm worthy untuk help me to reframe balik that I am worthy, I am can love, I deserve love, macam tu, something like that. So mula-mula memang tak percaya sangat, tapi lama-lama dia akan macam apa, ada cerita lah, macam there are phases of process yang macam bila you tengok balik apa yang you dah buat before this, sebenarnya dah start manifest apa, macam when the time is right, the affirmation gonna preserve or like
Dah jadi.
dia akan sendiri manifest lah in your lifestyle. So apa you nak cakap tadi? Kita lupa.
I biasa bila I tak percaya kan, there will come a point yang I have no choice but to believe in myself.
Yeah. Sometimes you just don't have
You
the
just
choice.
don't have the choice, man. Like the universe will push you to a point where you don't have anywhere else to go but up and forward macam tu.
Macam everything goes wrong, anything that can go wrong went wrong. There's nowhere else to go but up. So macam
so that's when
kenapa nak stress?
betul. You macam macam lala you macam okay, no, I do not want to be distressed out and miserable.
Malah stress apa-apa je kan. So macam I had to you pernah cerita macam you tengah stress ke apa, lepas tu kat dalam jam, kat dalam kereta, I am worthy, I am you like keep repeating that
I
mantra.
buka YouTube self affirmation, like positive self affirmation 10 minutes. Start dalam jam, I dengar. Oh okay, I layan lah. Daripada I layan lagu-lagu rock I tukar jadi positive affirmation.
Itu kan zaman-zaman budak emo.
Tak apa emo je.
Betul. Sebab how was your punya ni?
My experience lah masa zaman emo kan, it stuck with me. I didn't know lah that it was considered depression, because when you're diagnosed baru you faham, you perasan yang why I act certain way. So I tak pernah terfikir yang I could be depressed because I was never sad. I'm not a sad type. I'm always like bila you know, it's so bad to say, tapi bila orang meninggal pun macam okay, so everybody dies, that kind of thing. But
that's true.
That is a form of
it's a way of how you.
So I thought I had anger management. I thought I was just like tak ada EQ ke apa kan. But that stopped me from believing yang I deserve a lot of things, yang I boleh buat something. But what really made me macam tersedar yang I'm actually quite good at doing things, and I'm actually quite good at what I want to do. Bila whatever that I had in my head eventually did becomes real, like it happens in real life.
So contoh, ada spesifik contoh tak?
So I had this idea to make like not app lah, like now tengah fikir nak buat jadi app, tapi dulu when I was doing events with my friends, and I have a lot of friends that are in the PWD community, so diorang jenis yang kena pakai wheelchair, ada yang some from the deaf community, some are you know have a lot of struggles to go around, so susah sangat nak cari tempat to meet up, and you know when you want to do art events and everything. So I kept talking to other people, I kept talking to orang-orang with authority to ask them to, okay lah, this is the idea, can you guys do it? So it took 2 years for me to actually sedar yang why can't I just do it myself?
Instead of waiting for others that
So earlier this year I got my friends together and then we co-founded this mapping project called Inclusity. And we had nothing, we were just like jadi ke tak, and we were all nervous, and then kita orang just apply lah. We just applied for the Think City grant, yang the Creative KL Urban Challenge, and we didn't expect to even get anything. Kita orang macam saja je try, sekali dapat masuk finals. So we got a lot of traction from that, and then people thought our idea was good, and that was a huge validation for me, because that was something I terfikir macam boleh ke, you know, and then sekali jadi. I'm tearing up.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's something
That's
that
so sweet.
is
I love how much you feel your emotions.
Yang kelakarnya bila depan kamera je keluar. I don't know why this macam
it's okay, just embrace the feeling, vibes and everything. I know how it feels, because
I rasa penat kot sebab duk fikir kan, but now it's like finally talking about it.
And how that feels, macam kalau you look back, would your younger self could like
Oh, I'm definitely if I met my younger self, I'm macam weh, kau
kau tahu tak banyak benda
nak
yang
sepak
kau
je rasa kan.
boleh stop tak
Macam-
jadi pesimis. Kau boleh tak stop jadi macam ni?
Dah tak usah dengar lagi My Chemical Romance.
Tukar kan pasang meditation.
And I had this whole phase where I was always wearing black. My mom
yeah.
macam, kau ni. No, she didn't talk
Okay,
like that, but
yeah
she's like,
lah.
oh, she never wears colours.
Yeah.
Lepas tu dia pelik lah when I start wearing colours kan. I'm wearing pink today. She's like, would you even wear this? Like how many years ago? Dia macam pelik gila.
Yeah. So I think
How
that's
you have grown.
Definitely,
Out of
yeah.
phases, kan?
It definitely is about growth. And actually the people that surround you helps with your affirmations because you pick up words from them. Macam tadi, I dengar you sebut capable
Yeah.
and you sebut love. So
Oh.
I tambah dekat
Oh,
every.
nice.
I'm like, oh, okay, I can use that.
yeah. Betul.
And when you learn from other people, it's actually something yang gives them validation because
Betul.
bila
True.
diorang express themselves, they're taking out ideas from their head and making it into real life. But it makes it reality when they hear it back from us. So
Betul.
diorang pun rasa macam
Yeah. It's like
It's
two
a
ways lah.
ripple effect juga kan in a way.
Betul. Because I think whatever that we put out, the universe always kinda comes around and
butterfly
Betul
effect.
lah.
yeah. So more kindness you put out to your environment, to yourself, the love gonna give it back to you. But there are some people feel like macam, they see this kind of like doing kindness, feeling too much or like empathy is something as a weakness, because in the crazy world that we are living in now, however, people genocide things happening, capitalist, whatever things.
It's very depressing.
It's
actually, what's going
it's impossible for our generation to not be depressed.
Yeah.
And the fact that siap dah.
Belum
Cute.
siap lagi.
Kan? And the fact that macam we have to constantly like debate our principle, our life values with other people outside of
And you start
surroundings.
comparing yourself.
Yeah. And involuntarily we start comparing ourselves. We thinking like, are we doing enough? Are we doing the right things? All those things lah, which is get the urge of the needs yang feels that we need to having this constant fight, constant
Macam you
fight.
nak kena-
Kena compete je.
When you can just be
Why can't you just
you can
be
just
self,
exist.
just do your role,
Yeah, just do your own
embrace
thing,
your imperfection, embrace your mistakes, learn how to become a better person instead of like, I cannot make mistake. I must do this.
Kenapa kena perfect? Like
Yeah.
why?
Just be human. I think kita dah macam we have been programmed for that. I don't know. Like maybe because we were born in a certain generation.
By who? Program by who?
I don't know. Like the system. Tiba. The matrix kan.
Janganlah pointing finger, but whatever it is.
Okay, macam now we have access to so many things.
Yeah.
Like the generation after us pun, they're born in a world that has
So many,
genocide. They're born in a
Oh
world
my
that
god, true.
at any point of time they can go online and you can see so many different things. But diorang lah yang paling, how do you say, strong. Dia paling semua benda boleh lah, macam tak kisahlah. Like this is my life, I'm gonna. How come
Yeah.
we are still struggling with that?
Meaning like macam more outspoken lah to decide what they
they're
want.
more mature, definitely. They're
Yeah.
more,
Yeah.
I can only wonder.
Mungkin because when for me lah, I feel like during my time, I selalu macam nak people pleasing sangat. Dengan parents, dengan family, and like
Yeah.
I didn't allow myself to want to be any different than that. And so only now baru bila kita tengok, actually boleh. Actually, when we want to make something, it doesn't have to have rules. And
Betul.
when you have, especially artists, like you said tadi tu, there's no rules. And it's the most empowering thing when you make art because benda tu dalam kepala. Orang tak nampak, and then for you to bring it out for orang lain to see, nobody else can do that.
As an artist, you guys are practicing the art of meditation, the art state in flow, which is whatever that you struggle, or maybe whatever that you feel, you perceive, you feel it intense, tak apa faham. More intense on normal people. That's where most people who don't have that creative imaginations to that point, they can't create things yang out of box lah. So
how do you feel when you are creating something? Macam what inspired you?
Usually when I create some macam item for artwork, I will feel like everything else in this world just dissipates, and it's just me and my art. Like sometimes I've spent like hours making an artwork, tapi I tak rasa benda tu macam lama pun.
Sebab dah in the zone kan?
Because I'm in the zone, and then I can be myself. I feel like that when I make art is where I am like being like truly honest with myself. Yeah, macam I started doing art when I was working as an architect back then. So being a project architect was quite stressful.
Architecture is difficult.
Yes. Like so bila balik rumah kan, I have a lot of repressed emotion yang I nak luahkan. So I started to paint. That I started to paint on canvas, and then at one point tu I macam, okay, I can't afford to burn or canvas all the time, so I'm just gonna make artwork on A5 papers. So I started painting on A5 papers, and then since then I've just macam been doing art a lot and every day, and if I don't, I will feel weird. Macam I will feel like something is missing, and I miss it so much, and then I notice that my mood pun, like how the way I regulate my mood pun different kalau I active make art dan kalau I tak active. So basically kalau I nak happy,
kena buat
I kena buat art.
Tapi kadang-kadang penat kan nak buat sehari-hari, tak ada masa.
Sebab art tu bila kita dah in the zone, it actually consumes a lot of our energy juga. So you cannot, we have to find a moderation somewhere lah kot. I don't know. Well, I'm still trying to find the balance, and I haven't made any new piece for a while. Since I tak ingat bila, because I have been busy with my own personal life and personal venture. So I dah start to rasa restless. So macam, oh my god, I haven't made new art. I have to think about something to do. Something artsy to make.
Nanti jadi macam chore pula every process of it.
Yeah, so I just macam the time will come when it's time to make new art.
Surrender. No pressure.
I'm good if anything. Like I'm not a bad artist if I lama tak produce work. Sometimes rest and pause is necessary. Like bila you pause tu sebenarnya, you absorb a lot of things in your surroundings that could eventually turn into an inspiration and something yang you boleh ambil for you to put into your art. So that's what I believe. So I tak force for art to happen.
Betul saya setuju benda tu, because people say like macam, as an artist you have to do art every day, set something like routine for you to practice. Making a good art is something that you practice lah basically, which is yes, true, betul, you practice, but there are times yang sometimes we practice, our intention lah, we practice to be perfect for what? Faham tak? Like macam you practice to be perfect for what? You want to gain you want to gain more money out of it, or you want to become certain level? Yes. So I think that's nice that you know what you want, so you don't really like focus to do just like focus. Some artists, they just want to focus to do their arts and making it like how they can build their portfolio in art scene, become this. Macam I think for you buat ni sikit, lepas tu you venture benda lain, you buat tu sikit, lepas tu you venture benda lain, and that's how you create you punya art. It's not just in the visual art in canvas, but also in a collaborative ways of engage community. So contoh macam siapa yang pergi Art of Healing WIP hari tu, kita ada projection mapping digital art exhibition, which is inilah yang curate-nya. Dia lah dia lah yang artis dia.
Kalau tak best, I lah orangnya. Kalau best, I lah orangnya.
So dia lah orangnya yang membuat digital exhibition for us, and I would say that
Thank you for having me though. That was fun.
Thank you
Thank you for creating
it.
In my calm room.
Ramai orang suka sebenarnya, and like I don't even think that I able to do that lah as you know, like small event space.
I pun tak babe.
I mean, tapi bukanlah small, macam I think we are still new in this kind of like community event gathering, but for that kind of manpower resources, we able to deliver.
There will always be challenges.
Yes, we are able to deliver the piece or the thing. And yes, I cannot make it without this kind of support. You know, like knowing you, knowing Armani, knowing all this community punya initiative, and I think that's if
I'm honest, I memang suka nak imagine myself to create my own world. Like my own physical world. And I don't know how or what the universe conspired for my whip healing to hold an art event, and suddenly Kay cakap, Arda, could you be like a curator, like macam mana you nak present kita punya digital art exhibition ni, is up to you. I leave it to you, Arda. So
betul dia buat kan.
Wow, this is an opportunity for me to get to do what I've always wanted to do, because I have the creative freedom to do it. And I'm so happy that we made it happen. Walaupun masa tu I sebenarnya busy benda lain juga masa tu.
Ya, betul. So betul lah orang kata, bukan orang kata, ada satu lagu ni, Struggles Make Magic.
Oh, really?
That's I forgot lah what's the name, nanti kita check kan. But yes, contoh macam tu lah. I think to look back at our own experience of how word of affirmation has led our self-discovery to this. I mean, like macam Armani ada cerita tadi, before this she struggled to
I was so emo.
Emo with yourself, and also like the value that you think like boleh ke buat. You have this many idea, but you don't feel that you deserve or you can do it, or you are something lah to do it.
You are capable.
Yes, you are capable to doing it. And I do have that kind of struggle, especially when I want to do something. I have to ensure that I must doing it right. If not, I like macam tak nak buat buat benda yang bazir macam tu. Until to the point yang macam, okay, I think it's time to like remove this kind of mindset, do things in a different way, as in believe in how first step matters lah, which is I don't have to make it like gonna wait like I have this untuk nak start buat.
Betul.
So even though macam before I start do my WIP healing, there are people that macam this thing can make money man, can sustain man, can
usually you will dengar lah that
what you doing kan, you are not from psychology background, what are you doing here kan. Things like that.
I pun tak ada certification on universal design ke apa benda, but I'm doing this.
Yes, exactly. And a PWD pula sama kan. Like we have no idea about what is person with disability limitation, all this like mental health. Yes, exactly.
Yang penting niat.
Yeah.
When people see that you're sincere, you get so much support, and that's what I'm very grateful for.
Yeah.
So actually, when you doing honest work, it shows lah kan.
There will always be people telling us that we can't do certain things. Tapi actually bila fikir balik kan, Diorang cakap pasal diri sendiri tau. They're actually putting themselves out, they're projecting. So bila they tell you that you can't do it, it's not you, it's you them. So,
That's why I don't really macam take things too hard. Like kalau orang cakap kan macam
thank you for the opinion.
awesome.
Okay, thank you for the opinion. But I'm
Awesome,
gonna do
but-
me macam tu kan. But I usually use that kind of like word as like out of spite punya, you know, like my burning fire. Because I'm a
Alah.
Sagittarius. As a Sagittarius, we are like
fire sign woman.
fiery, you know,
Macam
like
Miley Cyrus le.
the more you say I cannot do it, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do it like that lah. So yeah. So
but actually it's good. Turn your punya pain into power.
yes, yeah,
That's my favorite
yeah.
thing to do.
Yeah, I think I learned a lot this year or last year about how, you know, we can create something beautiful out of our pain when we know how to channel it in the right way, or
Yes.
we can, you know, express it in the right way. Because I've been, you know, as someone who have this highly sensitive emo kind of mindset yang macam apa, life sucks. Life sucks.
Wait.
Everyone, human are evil, all that jazz kan. to able to reframe my mind or my mindset from that kind of negative to this kind of level of hopeful and curiosity and all these things, it's like I can kalau cakap dekat orang yang dulu yang pernah kenal I, they won't even believe like, oh, this is K ke kan, who are you, macam totally different.
I wonder what.
That's a good
Yeah.
question.
I cannot
Yeah.
I like that question, even though it was negative from your side at that time.
Yeah.
But I feel like I want to ask myself every day as a new affirmation now.
Who are you today?
Well, yeah, I think that's nice, betul. Because
So
sometimes
who are you?
we let our circumstances or our environment define us at that time, and we hold on to that identity lah kot. Which is like, okay, I'm doing this, so I'm this. Contoh macam tu lah. So for you, how so for you the question is like, how do you you know like use this word of affirmation as your stepping stone, or your, you know, using it as you punya power
To reframe balik
to
my
reframe
negative thoughts.
negative, and how is it help you to change yourself or help you grow in any sense?
I learned from other people's words actually. I don't know if you consider this affirmation or not lah, but I selalu sebut ni in all my most of my interviews. I follow this poet. Nak kata artis ni memang powerful. So
Betul.
this writer nama dia Wani Ardi.
Yeah.
She's also part of MRD as the Malaysian Red Disorder Society. One of the things that she posted on Instagram was something that her father taught her. The sentence is, kita kena faham orang yang tak faham kita. And that was a very powerful quote for me personally. Sebab I selalu stress like, kenapa orang selalu don't get what I'm trying to do, don't get what I'm trying to say, kenapa selalu clash. And then when I fikir balik macam, actually diorang tak faham. And then diorang takut nak, you know,
nak faham benda tu,
memahami. So kita kena faham cara diorang faham. Kita kena faham orang yang tak faham.
Just it's for ourselves, for our own
peace,
mind.
ya, betul.
So bila orang macam talk down towards you or tak percaya that you can do something, actually diorang tak faham. So kita faham-faham je lah.
Yeah, it's
That
not
is
our
them,
job
it's
lah.
not us.
It's not our job lah to like. But for me, knowing that, because I have that out of spite punya behaviour kan, doing things just to prove kan. But I at that phase sebenarnya, if you are not doing it in the just because solely for that, it's not gonna be like sustainable. It's not gonna be like ongoing, because whatever, there will always, when we want to do different things, there will always setbacks, there are always challenges, there will always, it's a hard things to do. So that's why people mostly just do normal things lah that people are doing it kan. So
benda-benda
benda
yang
senang lah, benda yang simple, yang
bukan senang, actually some susah tapi stable to
stable
them.
to them
In
lah.
their eyes,
in their eyes,
it's more sustainable.
Yeah. So for me, I do have a phase where when I'm doing it out of spite punya things, it will like really challenge how I view myself, or like really challenge of how, you know, like the things that I'm doing, is it the right things or not, like benda tu sangat-sangat macam trigger. There are phase that macam,
Because you're not doing it for yourself?
yeah, because I'm doing it in the wrong intention.
Oh, okay,
basically.
I get it.
So that's why I believe that when we are doing these kind of things, it's really, really important for us to always renew our intention, because we might start doing it with this A intention, but then along the way, the intention gonna be like sidetracked a bit.
Yeah.
And then things gonna be like, oh, you have different expectation, and people have put you in a different expectation, and there's a lot of disappointment, disagreement, benda-benda macam tu. So there are phase where in order for you to manage your expectation, to also to always renew your intention, is why are you doing it now? Like macam you cakap tadi lah, who you want to be.
Sometimes I get discouraged because I've just started out as an artist last 2 years macam tu. So sometimes I do get discouraged because I did, you know lah, artist typical struggles like with financial lah, payment and whatnot. So all these challenges as an artist actually kind of, it gets frustrating to a point yang I rasa macam, you know what, I'm just gonna quit my dreams, like I'm just not gonna think about it anymore. And then bila fikir balik kan, okay, maybe I should think about it again, because why, kenapa I buat art in the first place.
Betul.
So I sentiasa akan ingatkan diri I balik, why do I make art. Like I make art because I suka create something yang orang boleh enjoy. And sometimes I buat art just to give them for free, because I suka bila orang rasa appreciated tau. So and then the feeling it gets when people enjoy what you do, and at the same time you sendiri pun dapat buat apa yang you suka. So I think everybody wins. And I think masa tu lah baru I rasa macam, okay lah, like I shouldn't get discouraged yet, because it's still a long journey and I'm not trying to get anywhere so fast. As long as I get to do what I love and I stay true to my work, then I should just keep going lah. I shouldn't lah rasa, okay, it's normal for us to feel demotivated sometimes, right? But then at the same time, why are you faced with obstacles? Because sometimes we are being tested to see how much do you want it, or are we really putting our heart and soul into it despite the challenges. Macam tu lah. So I always remind myself macam back to my intention lah, back to my why. Kan orang cakap kalau nak buat something kena ada why.
I had a similar experience. Was very, very demotivated. I think the past few years, macam every year lah around this time I bagi tahu, kata besok tak nak buat lagi lah. Macam okay,
Nak tutup kan, I rasa nak tutup company kan.
So I told myself, okay, I'm going to give myself another year. If it doesn't go well, then I'll just close the company. And that was in
last year.
Started 21 and then 22. Now it's 2023 going into 2024. So I nak cakap apa lagi kat diri I.
Yang mengatakan every time, yelah, there will always setbacks and you feel like macam you want to redirect lah how you want to do things kan. But actually, if it's, you know, we are doing it in the right cause, like with the right intention, no matter how hard it is, it will be always gonna get through that lah, basically. So I think again, doing all of this kind of self-discovery coming from how you put your punya intention, what you want to discover about yourself.
Ooh, I like that.
And sometimes you will never know what is it until you just
Yes,
do it.
yeah.
Sebab we can't plan. Sometimes benda nak jadi kan.
I mean, yes,
Yeah.
we can plan, but if anything, Tuhan lebih Tuhan plan lagi
Ada sebab lah.
things like that. Yeah.
Bagi I kan, benda-benda yang challenges ni semua sebenarnya buat kita lagi
Learn about ourselves better.
we learn about ourselves. We actually unlock our own potentials when we manage to overcome the setback.
Level up. Betul.
And then we also get to know, like, you know, we get to rely on God. Gitu tiba aku we get to rely on God and macam have more faith, and macam you will learn how to regulate your emotion and expectations. So I think not all challenges in life is a bad thing. That is not me being delulu. That itulah yang I dah belajar lah so far kan, from my positive affirmation ni. Like always take anything bad, even anything bad that happens is also positive.
ways. Yeah, I faham, because itulah to get back balik to differentiate how word of affirmation is different than toxic positivity is where whatever that you put in is not out of whatever that you learn or whatever that you try to manifest is something that real lah, genuine, because some people might doing it out of spite, like macam saya cakap tadi lah kan, out of spite and without genuinity. So again, it's
Talking about yourself.
Talking about myself kan, mengutuk diri sendiri kan, live kan. Sharing. I mean, before.
But now you've grown. So it's
before I
become
know
something
myself.
bigger.
Yes, before I know myself in that sense, I know that I'm not being genuine to myself, where I doing things to please others or to get some validation for others, things like that. But it's actually it shouldn't be like that, because I think in this universe, the more you are being authentic to yourself, the more
You are rewarded.
Not rewarded, the more real people or authentic people or genuine people coming around you.
That's nice.
So
Also, another way you can say it is, what's meant for you will never leave you.
yes, correct. Because it's always serving in that sense. So I that's what I learned from word of affirmation. The word affirmation helped me to reconnect with my true authentic self balik.
Dia macam, okay lah, sorry, termasuk religion sikit. Dia macam doa sikit kan.
Doa,
When you say something about yourself, then it becomes true. Because you're like manifesting it juga.
Betul.
Because even we are also taught that apa yang kita fikir tu is also doa, apa yang kita cakap is also doa. So why don't we doa yang baik-baik?
Betul. Sama juga macam there's a word that macam orang ni lah nampak kat TikTok kan, just when you always bersangka baik with God, you will always find hope in within. Like you always feel the hope, or you don't feel lost to it.
True.
Yeah, because whatever that challenges that God put you in this world is always about He knows what's the best for you lah. So let's say if He didn't put you in this challenge, you might be someone really horrible person.
Betul.
You never know. No? Yeah. So
He would never put you in a situation that you cannot deal with.
yeah, even though at that time when we are facing it, it's like impossible for us to get through that. Yeah. It's like at that phase memang kena rasa macam tu. And that's how I think I attracted to science and also spiritual, because I feel like through science you can learn how whatever that religion teaches is already there. It's just like
Faham?
yeah.
I faham.
And
I like to relate science with religion.
yeah, because like kalau tak science without religion is just like without like fundamental or backup or backbone, things like that. Macam tak complete lah. I mean yes,
There's
for
like
those who are not into religion or spiritual, it's up to you to believe 100% in science. But there's without religion, without spiritual, there's no science.
true.
Yeah.
To me, because God created this world kan, and science is actually quite a religious topic juga sebab dia lah without it there will be nothing, because everything yang happen pun in this world is also related to science. So I percaya apa yang I agree with Kay about that.
Betul. Hidup ni orang kata apa macam yalah percaya benda-benda. People always like mistake that religion is something yang macam manifesting. Orang rasa macam benda tu khurafat. But
Doa is manifesting.
exactly. They just use different term.
Doa you're asking for.
Yeah.
What you want. Kalau jadi, then it's meant for you lah. Kalau tak jadi, that means it's not meant for you.
Yeah, betul.
Something else will happen.
Something else, and in fact something better will happen. So.
Yes, something better.
Usually before I nak go to that manifesting punya phase, you gotta be like tested a lot of you punya whole belief system before you got you punya manifestation, because that's
just how it works. Yeah.
That's how it works. You gotta you nak something kan, semua ada bayarannya bro. Masuk toilet pun kena bayar 50 sen tau. So apalah lagi sangat kau nak manifest, minta kat universe, kat Tuhan. Dia bagi free-free ke?
Actually, and I'm actually, because as an artist, bukanlah as an artist, as a person, I am very sensitive. So whatever I feel is amplified. So sebenarnya emotions are very powerful, because when I'm sad, I'm so sad, and when I'm happy, I'm so happy, and then I'm so easily stimulated tau. Macam if I see something cute, right, orang akan macam cute lah benda tu, tapi I akan macam cute gila. Macam you rasa macam you punya feeling tu macam over. I memang over. So I macam okay,
why does that have to be a negative thing?
Yeah, okay. Maybe you can still tell a bit lah kot.
negative.
How does it affect you?
Growing up, I selalu disuruh untuk why do you cry so much lah? Why is it so? Kenapa you macam cepat sentap benda macam tu? So and then growing up, I start to use that to my advantage lah. So bila I rasa like intense emotion, I will release it by making art, or macam channeling it to something positive, macam exercising or making art or dancing for me to express myself. And I also notice because your emotions are so powerful, so bila you manifest, the more powerful it is, the stronger it is, the stronger your intentions are, and lagi banyak energy you put out to the world. So I find that actually being sensitive is a superpower, and you just know how to navigate around it. So bila I want to be positive, I akan kau gila positif ya. I pun macam come to a point where I macam I feel too high right now. I terlalu positif sekarang ni. I kena balik ke bumi, babe. I kena balik ke bumi.
Wow.
Can you really be terlalu positive?
I can though.
Yeah. For highly sensitive person, like we said lah, the intense of emotion. So it depends on how that person utilize that emotions to what kind of channel lah. So let's say macam tadi Arda rasa happy with like nampak benda cantik, comel, like macam intense, like macam oh my god, this is so cute, this is so beautiful, and you're gonna like macam you are amazed, at the same time you are also macam excited to share that beauty to others as well, kan? So yep.
ada orang cakap annoying.
You
Tapi
can
I
get
macam,
high from you can
I
get
can
high
get
from
high from
positive
from silly things. I'm so easily like, it's so easy to please me macam tu.
It's not that hard, bukan?
It's not that hard. I just need to see bubbles and fire macam ya kan macam oh wow, that's so pretty.
Yeah.
Maybe I love burger kot.
Another form of affirmation is understanding your name. I learned this from a workshop and this conference that I went to. So one of the activities was to jahit nama into a embroidery thing, and then you have to talk about the meaning of your name. So I realized that my name kind of define me a bit about why I do certain things. I tak tahu lah because from my interpretation of my name means wishes in Arabic. That's what my mom said. Tapi tak tahu kenapa ada R lah. It's supposed to be Armani. So macam
Maybe Armani the brand Dior.
itulah dah jadi lain sikit. But for me, the translation is not technically wishes. It could also be inspiration.
That's nice.
Betul. So that's how you could understand yourself better lah whenever you
Macam kenapa I choose to do certain things.
Betul. Saya setuju. Sama juga for me. My name definition Khairini stands for kebaikan. Kebaikan ku ke kami ke tak ingat lah. Dia ada different like Khairina, kebaikan kami ke something. But Khai specifically says about kebaikan. So whenever I try to do something evil tak jadi no.
Jadi
I'm gonna like
memang dia nak buat jahat tapi sorry.
I feel so
You're
I feel
just not
so
evil,
sad
babe.
for myself. I'm like
Dia jahat dengan nakal lain lah.
jahat dengan nakal lain. But whenever something like I try to do something like not nice or evil, not evil like macam do like hurting others. I can't do that. Tak jadi. Even though I wanted to.
Really? Okay, can I share the story?
Okay, cerita jemput.
This girl, we went to Kuala Ganda punya
Oh,
elephant
yeah.
sanctuary. So tengok elephant punya show lah. So because we've been through macam places like Thailand where they, when you say sanctuary tu memang dia jaga, you're not supposed to ride elephants on the back semua, but kat sini kita dia adalah sebab-sebab dia. So they were showing us the show and there was this elephant punya act where they had to tarik
ada elephant
besi. And the purpose is okay lah, they were training elephants to help tangkap other wild elephants to bring them to the sanctuary balik.
Okay.
So how else can they do it kan? So they were using that method. She started crying because she felt so sad. Macam elephant have to.
And it has supposed to be in wild. Why you bring back them to like
her kindness and her kebaikan tu, it's just like another level.
Macam I can't
Kesian lah
but
kat
people always
elephant tu.
I mean this simple stuff orang rasa macam you know like macam you shouldn't be like this sensitive or be
but it's such a beautiful thing to have
It's
that.
beautiful. It's beautiful.
So when you said that you can feel much, so I can feel that through like people energy lah. So if they stress, I can feel the stress. If they feel sad, I will feel the sadness as well. So I think that's how I sort of thriving in this community peer support teams, because I have so much empathy that are not being used properly before this. So yep, berbalik bercerita Armani tadi. From there, I realised that actually, when we start to go
Care about others,
care about them, or maybe not, maybe when we start do things that out of our character, our true character, we don't feel safe in our body. Like before this, I used to be a selfish kind of ways, like I want to put me first
Because you were in a survival mode.
Tapi nama
mode,
apa tu? Syuhada. So dia macam orang yang mati syahid. Dia
Selain
macam
tu,
fighter lah, babe.
fighter.
Fighter.
So betul lah.
So,
No.
Warrior.
Bukan. Warrior.
warrior.
Yeah. So,
Affirmation.
So, I rasa macam
Positive affirmation.
memang aku kena berpenat-penat dan menjadi warrior rupanya dalam hidup ni. So,
yeah.
I macam
Living-
redha dengan
Living your
I'm living up to my
name, yes.
which is actually quite amazing because I macam oh wow, this actually true. Tapi at the same time I also rename myself. I punya nama RI is Ardacadabrah. Sebab Ardacadabrah tu menjadi macam magic kan. Because because kenapa I buat Ardacadabrah masa tu I macam bukan sebab I suka Harry Potter, tapi sebab I memang jenis yang memang dari dulu lagi I jenis yang suka nak manifest ni. Like I believe in attracting good things for myself. So if I were to start an art career, I need to start with
something magical
giving a
name.
name that is gonna reflect my things. So I memang suka I letak nama I Ardacadabrah, which means macam like a magic spell. Because whatever intention I put out, and in a way I'm actually creating a spell for myself. So if I macam put out, I do something with a good intention, it will return goodness to me. And if I put something negative out, I will receive something negative.
Betul.
Mm.
Basically that's how the law of universe work. Whatever you put out and whatever you say. Sebab dalam agama orang cakap what you say or what we say basically doa lah kan. So sebab tu kena macam train ourselves to always say good things.
Siapa pernah diberitahu oleh parents orang when we were younger, my mom always said if you have nothing nice to say, don't say
Don't say
anything at all.
Yeah. Mungkin bukan macam tu lah. Maybe bukan macam tu lah. More like macam negative things like cakap kan kecil-kecil I suka mencarut kan. Pak Ipad asyik mencarut.
Betul juga.
Kau kata tu saya doa. Kalau kau mencarut macam ni lah. Faham tak?
Macam my parents tak suka I macam meluahkan I punya frustration for people to read. Macam sebab I kena express it.
Kau pendam nanti kau yang betul.
Malu lah, like don't air your dirty laundry.
Yeah, but I have to put it out there because so sekarang I dah tahu cara lain untuk melakukannya, which is by different channel by expressing myself, by turning it into art or poetry or turning it into a course yang I buat. Like, as long as I get to express it.
Betul.
If I don't, I will suffer inside.
Betul. For highly sensitive person, y'all are made to express yourself. That's why you feel too much.
Yeah, betul.
Because you have the power to express, to create, to.
I've been told like I've experienced all this rejection because macam people cannot handle my intensity.
So you are too
I
much.
suppose the three of us have been told that. That's
Yeah.
the same thing. We're too
I
intense.
didn't handle my intensity. I feel so. Wow, am I that bad? Am I that
What's
wild?
wrong with me?
So let's change
So
that
I
to...
macam, you know what?
Sebab tu kita kawan sekarang.
So how do we change that negative intonation of intense to something positive?
I'm just passionate.
Passionate.
Yeah, I like that.
We're not intense, we're passionate.
We are
We're
passionate.
passionate people.
Betul.
That's a great thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's really how
That's
to
nice.
reframe ourselves.
Yeah.
So
I think that's really important. It's a very... I learned it late, but if I learned it earlier, kan, you guys, banyak benda.
Unstoppable.
If you learn it earlier, it's the end for everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, betul. Because
Usually,
usually I always feel that
for your
selalulah ada this kind of regression macam I wish I do this sooner, I know this sooner, all that things lah. But what I learned about healing is always like what you learn, what you acquire is at the right time, at the right space with the right people. So if maybe you learn that thing earlier or you know that thing earlier, you might not able to use it or process it rightly.
belum masa.
Yeah. So I believe time heals, but how you are using the time to change your perspective and heal from it. Time is healing, but there are still people are still like umur dah berapa pun still
Tak
struggle.
heal.
Yeah,
Because dia tak ada awareness
struggle.
to heal kot.
Struggle lah to accept their self, their emotion, struggle to process.
Yeah.
So betul.
Betul. I think rejection is good because it teaches you how to accept yourself.
Yeah, I really like
Isn't
that.
that a trend masa YouTube ke TikTok yang ada this girl goes up to shops or she goes out to people every day to be rejected, to purposely be rejected.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's genius.
she went up
That's
to
genius.
a hotel and she asked, can I stay here for free for one night?
Are you crazy?
Oh my god.
Sekali dapat.
Saja.
Really? So you never
You never know.
You never know.
they should not expect to be rejected. So that's how she handled, you're training yourself to be okay.
That's actually very smart. Maybe I should start.
Betul? Betul?
You never know who's
Habis.
gonna say yes.
Betul?
to you.
Betul? I think that's how we learn about self-discovery as well. Without all that setbacks thingy that are pushing us to self-questioning ourselves, self-questioning our worth and everything. That's where actually those moments, or what we call it nowadays, like traumatic experience. People say like macam, oh trauma, jangan buat benda ni nanti I trauma, I cannot. I cannot, it's my mental health, no, trauma is not a bad thing. 100%. It's how you view or using it to process or using it to
Turning
as a
it to
learning
your
turning.
advantage.
So siapa
Really
tak
is
nak
that
trauma, don't tell Rini. She will force you to go through it so you can grow.
No lah.
Jangan go
Tak.
like
Yeah,
purposely.
Before this, dia memang macam, before I know Armani in a different sense,
Aduh.
she's really rigid with like, oh I don't want to, I very logical lah. Logical kind of person yang macam, if you do A, B, C, it should be B. It should be C. Something like that. Like very logical and really conserve with whatever emotion that she has.
Cats out of the bag.
Yeah. So, yeah. Now she's a totally different person. Because I've been like, you know whatever you say is because of this, right? And then like she just, why you gotta
Why do you have to
why
be
you have to
right?
highlight or point that to me?
I didn't have to know that.
Macam,
yeah.
aku nak jadi emo tak jadi.
Tak ada emo because I was like, it's okay.
Baru nak emo.
Yeah,
You ni potong lagi.
sorry guys.
Have to grow up.
But yeah, unknowingly as a friend group, whatever, I'm the one who always like point out whatever or like whatever.
Tapi
things
taklah memaksa.
Yeah,
But it's just like,
it's just like a nudge lah. Hey, that actually,
Sebenarnya.
sebenarnya kau bukan macam ni. Kau sebenarnya tak nak macam ni. Macam tu je. Macam tu lah, faham tak?
sebab dia dah faham yang kita tak faham.
So,
Dia tolong kita memahami.
yeah. So I think
That's what good friends do though.
yeah. I think that's how friendship should be.
Yeah, you kena you were real dengan member you. I like that.
The last question is about what advice you gonna give to your younger self, or give to your anyone lah. Maybe needs it. Basically, keep belief or like don't lose hope with their orang punya affirmations.
I think I want to give advice to my younger self because she needs it the most. In another universe, my younger self need this advice, which is you are good enough and you don't have to care about what other people think. You just have to care about what you think about yourself. And you will grow up to become super cool woman. Yes.
Bukan grown up. You gonna grow up. You are
already super cool.
Super cool
And you're just
person.
gonna get cooler and cooler and cooler. To my younger self. Right. There's so much more that you have yet to discover actually. So don't be afraid to explore.
Be afraid to
I
explore.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Betul.
Let yourself explore.
Yeah.
Betul. So for you, Armani, what's the advice that you're gonna say to your younger self or others that might need, help to their self-discovery?
I copy paste.
Suka copy paste. Ada
Pinjam lah,
bincang
pinjam. The biggest one lah is basically you are enough, because people struggle to believe that. You have to tell yourself you are enough and let yourself discover things.
Yeah.
Sebab kalau kita dengar sangat our negative thoughts, we actually stop ourselves from experiencing. So
Yeah.
you are enough and you are capable.
Betul. Because kita hidup untuk apa? Untuk experience things kan. Like we are actually in a human experience.
Betul.
So
Shouldn't limit our human experience because of our fears.
betul. I think lah, that's my personal opinion about it lah. Tak semua orang nak YOLO babe. Ada orang nak hidup tenang je. So,
Nak stability.
nak
Yeah, I mean depends
stability.
on
Yeah.
whatever works lah. Because at some point there are times in life when stability is not what you needed.
Orang-orang yang nak stability ni sebab hidup dia kucing-kacing.
Yeah. So that's why there are
Dia
terms
tak
like
embrace.
there are terms like hurt people will hurt people.
Betul?
So yeah, I think we need in this life, in this world, in this generation, we need more people that are hurting. Instead of hurting other people, start to work on themselves and give love to
Be
kindness.
kind.
Yes, be kind. Despite whatever horrible things that happen in this world or happen to them or happen to our life, don't make that horrible experience define what kind of person or what kind of kindness you should give or take. Yep. So if I would able to advise my younger self, just because people are not being kind to you doesn't mean you should like use that kindness as something that weakness or something flawed to you, but use it how or the best that you can to empower others or yourself. So that's what I would say to my younger self, because there are days where I feel like give up with humanity because like people or humans just so horrible.
Sedih sangat sih.
Ya betul kan, kadang-kadang kan, but
We are people too.
we are people too, but yeah, I mean that's why God created human and animals coexist with each other and be in nature as possible as you can, because we are
Touch
part of the
grass.
nature. Yeah,
Touch
because
grass, guys.
because we are part of the nature, so slow down and embrace the process of being in nature. Are we ready?
We are ready.
We ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so everyone, I mean that's everyone punya tunjuk kepada kakak. So this is my word of affirmation poster. So this is like yours and me. So I think everyone punya design dia macam show
Reflect diri
reflect diri masing-masing ah.
Nampak tak I punya.
Yeah. So maybe
Sangat eksplosif.
Arda boleh cerita sikit apa you punya feeling or process, apa yang you affirm, tulis kat situ.
I punya affirm, I suka affirm satu benda. I am a magical divine being.
Itu.
Nampak tak? Macam over gila kan? But
Apa?
actually it's reality, because I actually quite religious person lah. So forgive me if I suka macam
Jangan
cakap
forgive.
pasal benda-benda yang pelik-pelik.
Jangan
ni.
forget. It's okay, be you.
So like when we are actually very magical because we come from God. So I like to affirm myself that who created me, God. So what that makes me so special, because you don't always get to born human. You could just be a rock je. Tapi sebenarnya you jadi human.
Anda diberi peluang untuk menjadi manusia.
You telah menjadi
sebagai
khalifah
anugerah
di bumi.
Betul.
So I like to affirm myself that when I affirm myself that I'm a magical divine being, it makes me feel like I am connected to God, that everything I go through is what God wants me to go through, and then macam it helps me. Yelah, bila you magical kan, you rasa macam you boleh buat apa-apa saja. Yeah. And then lagi satu is kalau you tengok ni, this is actually radiation lah, macam cakap I suka buat outlet lah. Radiate lah, sparkle, and then like aura, like positive aura. And then also I am the luckiest girl ever. Yeah. So that miracles happen to me. Actually, kalau kau orang rapat dengan I will be your friend with the most random lifestyles.
Betul, sangat random.
Random gila. You memang takkan bosan lah dengan cerita-cerita I. Because I like, to me that is such a lucky thing to have, to you know, you ada macam benda-benda random lah kalau hidup you, sangat bagi I exciting lah. And the images I choose are the things that I like, like reading, writing, flowers, heart shape, star shape, and hand, because I work with my hands.
You create.
Yeah, I create with my hands.
So the hands is like your macam gesture of
My gesture
of
me.
affirmation lah.
Yeah.
So you affirm through hands power.
And then I the mermaid. Sebab magical.
Magic betul.
And then the gummy bears.
Gummy bear.
Because I'm fluffy. Right?
Ah.
Gummy bear.
Comel. Yeah. Faham?
Yeah.
Okay,
This is my artwork. And I suka guna colours. Because I'm a very bubbly, colourful person. I love colours. I like for the world to be coloured and seeing things in black and white. I see.
That's what the world need most sekarang.
Yeah.
Okay. Tu je. So apa rasa bila buat affirmation postcard hari ni? Ada?
Rasa best.
Rasa bertenang, dapat balik keyakinan, repurpose, redirect.
Betul lah, rasa repurpose lah. I rasa macam okay, so I nak start tulis affirmation balik. Sebab I dah lama lupa nak tulis affirmation. I selalu, because kita ada this thing, smartphone. So when you wake up, sometimes you tend to buka your notifications, like I get new WhatsApp, ada WhatsApp yang penting you tak baca ke, atau apa Instagram DM yang you miss out ke, benda macam tu. So and then bila kita dah start to buka phone, you tend to forget about what you are supposed to affirm for that day.
Betul.
Yeah.
Saya setuju benda tu. Because struggling of addiction from phone digital.
Sebab tu kena ada digital detox.
Betul, sebab tu lah kami buat digital detox kan. Tapi malangnya ramai yang tak boleh nak join sangat, because digital detox ni kalau lebih 3 hari dia tak ada handphone, gigil. Gigil orang kan. But yes. So for you, Armani, how?
Mine.
Show.
Oh, yeah.
Show it off kan.
I started writing the word calm because dulu and now pun I struggle to be calm. I'm always macam ada je something. Tapi within the calmness tu, I want to tell myself that the C stands for I am capable. Then the A is I am amazing. And then L tu is for I have love, or I am love.
That's nice.
Then I'm also magic.
Yay! You're magic too.
I pun letak stars.
Oh yeah, and the butterflies you like.
These butterflies ni is more like the magic of metamorphosis. Because when you're a caterpillar, you're the first version of yourself, and then now I feel I'm no longer that person. So
you're now a butterfly.
Fly.
I love that.
Suka.
But I letak bag. It's because I work a lot with merchandise kan, so tote bag selalu banyak. But I like that this one says it's okay, because whatever happens pun, tak apa, it's okay. I feel sad, I feel angry, I feel it's okay. It's just for now, and then things will happen.
That's cool.
And I letak flower ni kebetulan because my earring ada sama. And then And I was looking for butterfly. I jumpa this matchbox punya. And I like that it's
it's a match.
I like that it's a match because then it relates to the word capable because I'm a fire starter. I disrupt
that's cool.
Betul. So itulah. Wait, the most important one. Ada tak tangan juga, tapi my tangan is ada orang lain punya tangan because through others I grow, so ni bloom flowers.
That's nice.
So through others I bloom.
So the more you connect, the more you bloom lah kan. Nice.
True. That's so true.
Suka.
Yeah.
So sukalah tengok masing-masing, nampak lah masing-masing punya ni kan. So this is like
aku chaotic ni.
Tak
ada bersusun weh. Tersusun chaotic.
Character.
So for me, kalau I punya, for me lah, tulisan I ni rasa macam
I love it so much.
chaotic lah. But I always like macam you cakap tadi, you nak fokus on the gambar ke or on the tulisan. So I think betul lah I fokus kat tulisan kan.
Betul lah you yang buat.
Because I feel like sometimes when I do I always struggle with this self-sabotage, imposter syndrome.
Bukan you saja.
Ramai.
juga.
So biasanya untuk geng-geng kita berseni, anak-anak pelik ni,
Anak-anak special.
Bukan pelik.
Kita patut masuk ni lah X-Men punya school tu.
School for special.
I would love that.
Dan siapa nak buat sekolah neurodivergent, please kita invite us. Let's do it.
New project.
Why not?
Siapa
So yeah, I always struggle with self-sabotage where whatever good things or things that I'm doing, I will find a way when it got too real or too like something overwhelmed or like macam it get recognized, I feel like I don't deserve this. I'm just an imposter doing it out of like situation, or I just got lucky. It's nothing to do about my hard work or whatever because
you were such into it.
Yeah.
No,
But
slay.
But that's why I said like affirmation helped me to reframe my intention, my motivation and whatever, because wherever I feel that kind of sense, there's no one else can help me. Whatever good words or people saying you're doing great, you are doing I'm so proud of you, you are thriving, I couldn't believe them because I feel like I don't deserve that. It's just I got lucky, or I just like apa kan, macam faham tak?
We're so different babe.
So that's why I what I put in this affirmation card is to embrace process. There's a few words actually that I mix it up, like different quotes, but I mix up the words like embrace the process, slow down, you are doing great, this is a marathon, not a race. So
I like that. Marathon.
Yeah,
It's a marathon,
not a race. Yeah, because as someone who are like really highly competitive, highly ni lah kan. I always feel like, okay, dah buat ni, apa nak buat lagi? Lepas tu next bila? Apa? Next, what's that project? Let's do next project. Like, you know.
You need to be calm.
Yeah. So, elok lah kan.
Macam I lain. Sebab I random kan. So, lepas I dah buat satu kan, I know that there will be nothing happening. And then suddenly something will come. Yang I macam, okay, let's do this. Lepas tu tiba-tiba, schedule aku full.
Betul. Dia like macam involuntary like say yes to everything without even like putting our energy in the right space lah usually. So I also struggle with that as well. But what I learned through my healing journey, especially this year by doing this program under social healing impact peer support, which is SHIPS, I met a lot of like strong people, beautiful soul, human being that struggle with the mental health disorders through uncircumstances environment, that made me feel that there's a lot of like strong people, light people out there that they are like being dimmed through their environment because of the trauma family, the family punya trauma things lah, that pattern that they are struggling to deal with, to process or to let go benda tu. And I believe everyone have their power to change how they want their life or future looks like. So that's why I feel like macam dekat dalam dekat dalam ni ada nampak kan orang ni tengah berlari, macam berlari mood ada dalam tepi tu mood, so you are doing slow instead of like you're too focusing on like how can I fix this problem. Try to look at like I want to focus on how can I enjoy learning from this problem.
Enjoy the process.
How can I enjoy or embrace the process to learn it, instead of like what can I fix, what can I do, how can things be this instead of that. Right? Yeah. Because throughout the years, as a mental health fighter itself, it's so hard to manage our expectation, especially when we are struggling or we have facing this kind of disorders that others don't struggle as you. So the feelings of to fit in as others, as neurotypical, the urge is so high that you constantly masking or putting yourself in the position where you want to be fit into others, where you are actually not. You are supposed to embrace your neurodiversity. You are supposed to do things differently. You are supposed to see things differently, even though the people around you can't understand you. But just because you didn't find the right crowd, you didn't find the right people to environment to help you to see that yet, it doesn't mean you don't have to explore. So I think that's where I learned lah from this year, especially I meet a lot of people that have the same struggle as me, same trauma response, same a lot of reflection moment lah basically. And like Armani said, you learn a lot when you lending your hand, when you
reach out,
when you reach out,
when you help others,
when you
others will
speak
help
up,
you.
when you speak up. Yeah. So same as well as you, like when you radiate good positive energy, you're gonna attract the same things in your life as well.
Yeah.
So
maybe sometimes bila I radiate positivity, like but just random good things happen to me.
But would you feel like if you can't radiate positivity, you're gonna shame yourself, or you feel less of you if you can't do that?
No, I'll just get tired of myself. I can't tell.
It's okay, you just tired. So
I don't like to be like this lah. I want to be happy. So
I think you should, this what you radiate kan. So kalau you dah rasa dim tu, you macam okay, kena recharge, I need to rest.
Yeah. I akan macam I tend to ghost people. But it's not in a negative way, because I have macam orang yang rapat dengan I, they understand that I am like that.
Dah faham.
Yeah, diorang dah faham.
I do the same thing. Sometimes I dah baca macam nak reply, and I forget. I'm like 2 days later baru jawab.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I forgot.
So they understand that we have to recharge.
Sama lah kita banyak tiga ni.
Sama ada tak recharge, atau kalau I tak recharge, if something bad happens, like if I am too all over the place and I will get so reactive, negatively reactive. I don't want to spill all of my negativity on the people that I care about. So I will isolate myself.
Betul.
Kalau tak, because I will get intense, and I macam, you know what, I should take some time for myself first, and then when I feel better, can radiate positively again.
Betul. Take time. That's why
Take time. Yeah.
slow down, calm
True.
down. Pergi mana yang down lagi? Yeah, you are the luckiest ever and magical. Being a magical soul or human being is to sit down with the feelings. Yes. So
I think orang ramai, or my younger self lah, what I would say is I didn't know how to sit down with myself and just be whatever I'm supposed to be that day.
Yeah.
betul. Because
semua nak rush, semua nak hustle.
I learned this one
Hustle
thing.
culture.
Sometimes I'm not even in a rush, but people rush me. And then I pressure. Lepas tu I macam, I am a very chill person. Like, because I sangat chill though. I memang tunggu inspiration come to me. I tunggu when is the right time. I will feel when it's the right time to be fast and when it's the right time to chill. So bila orang rush I tend to do something that is against what I want to do because I am being rushed from their expectation. And then that's when things don't work out. Sebab we're supposed to slow down and enjoy the marathon. Macam that's what I learned this year. Like if you maintain on the right path, you can explore how you can navigate the situation instead of macam letting others influence what your beliefs macam tu. Betul sebenarnya. So I belajar satu benda tu. This is right. Embrace process, slow down. This is not a marathon. This is a marathon, not a race.
Sebenarnya dia terbalik, tapi yep, I like it. Flip side of the things. Yeah, so this is how I feel that our session today, our discussion, and throughout the things that we have decorate for word of affirmation. So siapa-siapa kat rumah, you guys boleh buat your own things like this, like mini card. So whatever days or time or things that happen to you that make you not believe in yourself, make you feel horrible, make you feel not good to yourself, do this affirmation.
It's like a reminder.
It's a reminder, yeah. It's a self-reminder that
I think I'm gonna start doing this again.
Yes, we all should
Foto-foto
start
nak
there.
Lepas tu kan, you compile.
Buatlah banyak lepas tu tampal kat dinding kan. So, yep, I think that's how we learn better to use that sadness, use that struggle, use that tragedy, making into something beautiful.
I like that.
Yeah. So,
Turning your pain into beauty.
ada satu lagu ni, dia kata show them how you backflip from tragic, show them how struggle creates magic.
Ooh.
Oh, that's
Yeah, it's actually lagu Swedish House Mafia actually. Heaven
Wow.
Takes You Home. Yes. So, yeah.
Cocok langit.
Cocok langit. Orang yang cakap cocok langit lagu pun bukan, tapi the impact of the lyric, bro. I tell you, I cannot.
Deep though.
Yeah.
words are actually very strong.
Yes.
Yes.
Word, songs. That's why I think be careful what you consume. Sometimes whatever you feel now is because you consume too much of negative things, or you consume negative or non-healthy, non-quality food or whatever, or you forgot to take drink enough waters. So kadang-kadang macam emosi sebab tak cukup air je, babe. Tak cukup mineral. Sebab lapar, sebab ni. I really like how we just chill during this session and we just enjoy our process doing these things. And as usual, this is our final episode for this year. We don't know yet if we're gonna still continue this episode for next year because this program is supported by Yayasan TM. So I think this is our next year. We are not we are in different direction lah. So shits maybe continue, but we will continue in a different kind of sense. Maybe not focusing on visual art, but maybe our direction is gonna be different. So
I can't wait to see that
into
happen.
yes, multi-process. Yeah. So I think that's where we whatever that we learned this year, we're gonna use whatever we learned this year to explore more what we can do in the community. So yep. Thank you so much for whoever that has been through thick thin we've gone through a lot lah. Ups and downs. We have been going through ups and downs with us throughout the years and been supporting us since day one and until now, and whoever that already joined our social healing impact peer support program this year. We really, really appreciate your time, your kindness, your presence, your assistance. Just be there and do art of healing together with us.
And orang yang baru join?
Orang yang baru join pun sama juga macam next year. We still gonna do something lah with the ni. It's just not under the same direction as this year. So yeah. So this year kita ada banyak sponsored activities kan. So next year mungkin we still gonna have, but not sponsored lah. Macam tu. So yep.
Community driven.
So we want to focus more on that next year, where whatever that you guys believe in us, whatever you guys want to invest in us,
and believe in yourself.
Yes, and
that
how
you can
we,
make a difference,
and how we as a community, as a collective, can make a difference. This Art Therapy podcast is supported by Mereka Space, Mereka.io. Thank you so much, Mereka.
Thank you.
And also Yayasan TM, giving us the opportunity to share knowledge and community engage with different kind of people. And yeah, I hope that next year we have a chance to still continue our Art Therapy podcast. But if we don't worry guys, you guys can still check out whatever videos that we have produced. And if you need reminders, just click on play and share it. And yeah, that's all from this year. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay, good job. Bye bye.